From Sports Broadcast Camp, this is Sports Talk. I'm Matt Kuchar along with Brendan Albertson and Yoni Monat. Yoni, the Patriots going into this year, how do you think their chances stack up against the rest of the teams in the NFL?
Well, the Patriots clearly are going to remain one of the stronger teams in the league, but I think the question is, can they get back to where they were last year, the Super Bowl, and actually win it this time? Because we've seen the last two times they've been in the big game and they've fallen flat on their face. You know, I don't think that the Patriots made really significant upgrades this offseason that is going to convince me that they can actually win it this year.
Now, Brendan, looking at the Patriots offseason, based on what Yoni said, do you think the upgrades that they did make will be enough to get back to the Super Bowl?
I actually do think that the Patriots upgrades that this offseason that they made over the offseason will increase their chances at winning the Super Bowl. I don't care whatever the other people say in the NFL, but I believe that the Patriots will make a resurgence back to the Super Bowl, and they will win Super Bowl 47.
So let's talk about, starting with you, Yoni, some of the Patriots' opponents, notably Peyton Manning moving on to the Denver Broncos from the Indianapolis Colts. He was hurt much of last year. Do you think he can come back strong with Denver?
You know, I really think that Peyton Manning is going to have a big resurgence with the Broncos. Certainly last year, like you mentioned, he was injured, but I think he's still young enough, being in his mid-30s, and I think that, you know, he really can start to lead this Broncos team back to close to with the success the Colts had.
So, Brennan, what about Peyton Manning? This season, he overtakes Tim Tebow, who is certainly a fan favorite in Denver. Can Peyton become the new fan favorite?
I honestly think that Peyton Manning can be a fan favorite in Denver. He was well-liked in Indianapolis when he was with the Colts. I think that his chances of being liked in Denver are pretty staggering, and that he can lead the Denver Broncos back to success.
I mean, I think it's more than being a fan favorite, though. I think that, you know, Peyton's someone that still has a lot of talent left, and as long as he can get that neck healthy, you know, he's proven in the past that even though he doesn't necessarily have to have the greatest wide receivers, that he can really lead the team well, and I think that Peyton is going to lead the Broncos back to heights.
All right, before we go, one last thing. Do you think that the contract dispute with Wes Welker will lead to poorer play this season? You think Welker will be out to prove that?
I mean, I do think that Welker will be out to prove something, but I think the negative thing is for Patriots players coming up through the pipeline, they'll know that they can't trust the Patriots to do the so-called right thing in future negotiations. I think that's going to hurt them.
And that'll do it for this edition of Sports Talk from Sports Broadcast Camp. I'm Matt Kuchar with Brendan Albertson.